Weightlifting. First thing most people imagine when you say this is bodybuilding. People lifting heavy weights, powerlifters. And chances are you're a gym rat yourself, and it's perfectly fine because I was one as well. However, the weightlifting I would like to talk about in this video is weightlifting for runners and other endurance athletes, because in running it is very, very important to lift weights, more important than most people actually realize, I think. So why do I think lifting weights is so important for runners? Online you might have came across this term called hybrid training. It literally means doing physical training, doing strength training, going to the gym, lifting weights, and also doing some form of cardio, either running, cycling, whatever it can be. And it was quite popular, especially by this guy called Nick Bare, absolute fucking legend. And is essentially this guy that's jacked as hell and is running marathons and is very fast. Should get general gym rat consensus switch from being only gym only and like bodybuilding only as I was to people starting running in the sport same as I did basically when I came here to Denmark. And I managed to do this hybrid training for over a year now. And after all this time, at this point, I would not really consider myself an hybrid athlete anymore. By now, I'm mostly runner. So that's why in this video, I will tell you how I do it, how I do strength training, how I approach it as a runner, and first and foremost, with my running goals, how you can do it too. Also, how to try to incorporate both running and lifting, because I know that a lot of gym bros are scared that when they're gonna start running, they lose all their progress. Today, I will debunk that myth that it is absolute uttermost bullshit and that you can still lift a lot of weights and go running a lot and you can still remain muscle. And also show you my split in the gym that I'm using right now, and I will try to give you a bit of an insight of how to manage both. I believe it's actually very important when you are trying to combine endurance sports such as running and lifting weights. Let's go. So when you're a runner and you have running goals, still number one main thing for you in terms of lifting weights is recovery and managing to recover well between your sessions, because running is quite a heavy sport on your body, especially in your knees and like just generally on your hormones and the nervous system. And the first and foremost thing is to learn how to balance this. Like 2 weeks ago, I made a video about how to start running, how to also keep running, and one of the most important parts was injury prevention and how to actually keep running bigger mileages and actually build it up on and make sure that your body can keep up with it. And going to the gym and training your legs to be stronger is just the single best way to do it, in my opinion. Whether you've been training in the gym before or you've never trained with weights before, this is going to be a single workout that I'm doing once per week currently that is bulletproofing my knees, making my legs stronger and making me able to run bigger distances and build actually mileage and train for my races and then actually run the long distance races. So the first exercise, that's absolutely my favorite exercise for legs. There's two favorite exercises for legs. Is the Bulgarian split squat. You put one of your legs on the bench and you take some weight. You don't have to use weight when you're and you want to go as deep as possible, your leg your back extended as possible. And I would aim in every single set to do 5 to 7 repetitions, so actually make sure you load your muscles quite enough and you do less repetitions so you actually can build usable strength. This video won't really go into depth about how to build muscle and what are different focuses like strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. I think there are better tutorials than this one. Specifically for runners, and for runners, I think the most important one is the strength part. It's actually what makes your tendons be bulletproof and to be able to hold big loads and to perform and to output power when you're actually running. And this is just a single exercise to build it. You also build balance because you're standing on one leg, and you also build flexibility because you really need to go low, need to go deep in that position. Second very good exercise that I really love is the single leg Romanian deadlift. So basically take a kettlebell or a dumbbell and you put it and you stand on one leg and you take it in your opposite right hand and you keep your back extended as much as possible. You bend your knee a little bit and you go down towards your feet with the dumbbell and then you go back up. And you do this movement slowly, and once again you do 5 to 7 repetitions, 3 sets. It all again stretches you, and basically it's the single best thing you want to do for balance, because you literally have weight in your other hand and you need to balance on one leg, so it's absolutely amazing. Then the next exercise is the glute bridge, which I really like. Lay on your back, you put one of your leg on the elevated surface, that the leg is in the air, and you go slowly up and also slowly bring yourself down. You hold like 3 seconds up, do this once again, 6-7 repetitions, 3 sets. You can add weight, that's optional. I personally do not like to add weight because it's gonna have to just balance it on yourself. And then I do some calf raises. Ideally, once again, it should be loaded, so you're actually lifting more than your weight. And again, to be able to perform like 8 repetitions, you don't have to overload calves as much because it's a small muscle. Ideally, once again, on native surface and going as deep as possible, and then going just slightly up, not all the way, but like once again using some sort of balance, and it's just golden for your calves. Next up, there is this very specific one, which a lot of people don't know. It's the reverse Nordic curls. Take band and you put it around some sort of thing, and you like tie it. You don't have to tie it, but like you just have to hold it in place somehow. You take a mat underneath you, go on your knees, and you go slowly backwards, holding towards the band. This exercise is absolutely incredible for your knees. It's mostly for flexibility and mobility of your knees and the muscles around your knees. But oh man, when I started using exercise, I just started doing it because I wanted exercise to bulletproof my knees because I was feeling some knee pain after running. And after I started doing exercise once or twice per week, since then, in more than half a year, I haven't had a single knee pain. And I'm knocking on wood for it because it's very rare when you run big mileages. Just absolutely incredible one, and I really recommend that. Then, these are the main 5 exercises I do every single week, and then I like to add some accessory work. One of them is tibialis raises. I do tibialis raises every single day. You can either do it, you lean against the wall, put your legs on the floor, and you extend your tiptoes, or you can lay on the bench and put a kettlebell on your foot and extend the tibialis. Tibialis is very important for Achilles. It makes the whole foot like united, and feet are literally like tires of a racing car. You need them because they're your contact surface with the ground. It's the thing that sends the signals to your brain like, okay, we are running, we're actually on something. Then you need to of course train core. I train core on every single gym session I do. So I have 2 gym sessions per week right now. I will talk about later. And the very good exercises are planks, just very good one, classic. Then leg raises, either bent knees, hanging, or on the special machine. Doesn't really matter, whatever can actually challenge you, and you can perform 8 to 10 reps. My favorite exercise is the Copenhagen plank. You must do Copenhagen planks. It bulletproofs all the bones and all the tendons, and basically just unites the muscles and makes them more balanced. If you do this workout once or ideally even twice per week, I guarantee you will get 70% less injured during your running. Especially when you're in your beginning phases and you're really done sports in your life, it's very important that you train your muscles because your body is not really used to the load. And even if you've been going to the gym before, or even been playing some sports, but you haven't really necessarily run, it is very important that you have some sort of a routine of like leg workouts at least once per week, because otherwise you will get injured. I can promise you that. And it's not a nice thing when you cannot train. You actually start to lean into running, and a lot of people quit because they get injured a lot. And it's good because you can prevent most running injuries by hard work and discipline in the gym. So as I said, I go to the gym twice per week. I run 4 to 5 times per week, and the second workout is of course my upper body workout. I grew up as a bodybuilder, basically. Not really grew up, but like I was lifting weights for a very long time since I was a kid, and I started working on seriously when I was 14 years old. If you want to train your upper body as a runner, you can definitely do that. My number one myth is that running will kill your gains, and that is simply not true. Since I came to Denmark, I've been training once or maximum twice upper body per week, and I still regain most of my muscle actually, and even gain muscle. I gained, I would say, like 10 kilos since I came here, because I'm still developing. I just entered anabolic window, and my muscles are still growing, even though I'm running very much a lot. If you eat a lot and if you train at least 1 per week, not many, like a lot of sets, but not so many reps, high weights, and you target those muscles and you perform this thing called compound movements, you're gonna still grow muscle and gain power when running. Compound movements are basically exercises that are recruiting more than one muscle group. For my upper body session currently looks like this. So the single greatest, in my opinion, upper body compound movement is the pull-up. That's just, in my opinion, the single greatest exercise in this world. I love pull-ups. It's perfect. If you cannot do pull-ups, lat rows are also very good for this. And then when you're able to do your pull-ups, you should add weight so it actually challenges you. I would add weight or just do pull-ups or do rows with such a weight that you can once again do like 5-6 reps. So like low reps. I would do like 4 or 5 sets of this and just really get the strength and get the aggressive pulling movement in. Second exercise to do is bench press. If you do it carefully and you have a spotter, make sure you have a spotter always when you're doing heavy weights on the bench. I will once again aim for 4 working sets each. You make sure you do a warm up before, and just very good exercise for front. And also there's a compound movement for a tricep as well, because you need to be quite hyperextended in order to actually hold the weight on yourself. The third movement that I do on my push day or on my upper body day is the shoulder presses. So of course I can still get some shoulder work in, and you make sure you have as big range of motion as possible. You go as low as possible, and you extend your elbows fully, almost fully. And once again, I'm doing usually 4 or 5 repetitions, and for 3 reps, only 3 reps. This because these shoulders are not really that important for me personally, for my running goals or for my pull-up goals. And that's actually it for my upper body exercises, believe it or not. I've been training like this for the past half a year, just 3 exercises, and I'm still growing muscle and I'm still regaining mass. And if you just eat enough, as I said, you can manage, definitely we can manage both running a lot and also maintaining mass and building muscle and gaining strength. I usually top my upper day with, by now I'm training for an ultra marathon, so I do some leg exercises as well. I do the Romanian deadlift, the one leg one, also some Nordics and some calves usually, but also I do core. Very good exercise for you is also lower back extensions, because lower back is literally connecting your legs to the rest of your body. It's very important to have it strong. When you train core, you train this as well a bit, but it is still good to load it sometimes. And a real exercise as well, I recommend that. So yeah, this is the way I train. I'm trying to balance, as I said, remaining some mass and remaining some strength. I don't really care that much about pure muscle mass, but mostly about them being functional and them being very strong, being able to pull my own weight and also to push a lot. In during hybrid training, there are many different ways you can take. There is also powerlifting. You can train specifically for climbing, for instance. There are many ways you can combine it, and I really love this form of training over the bodybuilding when I was doing before, because now you actually train real things, you train real skills, not just for aesthetic. And I figured out that training as a bodybuilder, nothing as bodybuilders, I respect that it is a very good sport, but still, I don't really find going to the gym 4-6 times per week just to do hypertrophy when I can just do this. And I've been training like that for a long time in my life, and then I came to Denmark and I was training once per week for more than half a year right now, and I'm still gaining mass more than before. I'm still gaining power more than before, and that's probably because my muscles actually can recover properly between the workouts, so I can smash big workouts every single week and feel good with the muscles, and I'm not getting injured. And that's the most important goal when I actually have big running goals, and it's like the one thing I want to do. Injury prevention is the number one thing you need. That's just how it is. You must build strength in order to not get injured. Especially if you're a heavy guy like me or a tall guy like me, those tendons really must be worked. I've been so far very lucky with injuries because, as I said, I trained strength before it quite a lot. I've been doing leg day every single week. I'm not skipping leg days. That's not who I am, bro. Think about yourself and don't skip fucking leg days, okay? Because you should like take a picture of me like this and just put it on your fucking wall, and right underneath, don't skip leg days, and put that inside your wall, and whenever you want to feel like you skip leg day, you won't go skip a fucking leg day, okay? Because that's the single best thing that's gonna actually get you there. Because if you won't do it, if you just want to run 100 kilometers per week, good luck recovering from a 2-month injury. That's how it is. That's the ugly truth of running. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again once again later, and I will see you on the fucking leg day, okay? See you.